Welcome back to the channel. Today's project, we're going to check out alignment issue on 84 GMC High Sierra. It's got a real bad fade to the right while normal driving and hard squirreliness when you hit the brakes. So kind of indicates a shim issue. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, I'm right. It's the shims. Let's take a look. So right here, this huge stack, that's your alignment shims. And there's supposed to be a similar stack, but they have fallen down there. So, anyways, we'll get this in the air, pull the wheel off, and hopefully collect all the shims so we can put them all back in. Because more than likely, all the shims are actually, they just fall down on top of that control arm down there, and you can normally just pick them all up, put right back in. Is it perfect? No. Does it work? Yep. So let's get this in the air and get the wheel off. Let's get started. So there you go. I even that's funny. Let me see if I can get you in here. The last time I did this, we actually put all the shims together with tape so you can't lose them. So I basically just have to hammer this back in, but I don't, this is the stud in question here. Like I was saying, a lot of times the stud is actually pressed into the chassis on the back side, and so what'll happen is it'll spin when you tighten it. This is a newer lock nut. This one looks probably original, probably should have been replaced, same as this one. And that could be too. We could just have a bad lock nut. But since, I mean, okay, when we did this last time, I debated on just tack welding them, but I was like, no, things change. So we just wrapped them in tape, so we always know how many go on this side. So we'll loosen that bolt up, shift some stuff, and see if we can hammer these back in there. Another thing I want to notice, you don't want to drive very far like this, because you can see I'm moving this with my finger. So although these didn't fall out yet, they were about to. And I didn't drive very far. I probably went about a mile right when I noticed it and just turned right around. But yeah, let's get that bolt addressed and see if we can tap these old shims back in there and snug her back down. And see if we can mark that bolt either with a chisel or something, just to make sure it's not spinning. So we can just eliminate that from the problems that we think it is. To a lot of newer people out there, they'd say that this is a 19. Well, not an 84, it's a 3/4. Perfect. Alright, loosen those up. That one has nothing on it. See if we can loosen this one. I don't know if you saw that, but the shims actually settled down when that happened. I wish I could get some better light in here for you guys to see. So another thing to note on these is they have a lot of times they have a through shim. This one's got it. You want that on the wishbone side, this guy, or the dog bone. Then we'll try and scooch the other shims back behind that and this other washer here. And I would pull on this, actually it moved out this way a little bit. I could probably just squish those shims right back down there. Let's try it. Yep, those will fit right in there. If you can see this, yeah, so I just stuck them down right behind that through shim, and so they're just hanging out right there. So we'll snug this down and that down. But I want to mark that bolt first. So when I snug this down, it's going to be to whatever torque spec I can give it. I don't know what the torque spec is on these bolts. It probably has one. Those bolts do. However, if it comes loose every 5 minutes, does it really matter? Probably not. Tight. Get it tight. Whatever it takes. So we're going to index that with a mark just to make sure. So let me get some chisel or something to hammer on the end of that. I'm actually going to try this tire marker and just see where that dot ends up after we zip this thing down. Just a regular white tire marker. You want to color your letters like the cool kids used to do? You believe? if you can see, that index did not change. It stayed in the top position the whole time. So what I really think the issue is here is this bolt should be replaced with a new nylon thread locker, which I don't happen to have. Even when I go to my magic bolt pile, which I cleaned up and put in that bucket. It's not a bolt bucket. What you can do in a pinch is, if you happen to have a fisherman in the house, take some fishing line, run it through the bolt, then zip it on, and that'll get you by in a pinch. But it's better than an old wore out bolt. But we'll snug that other one on. It's not that I don't trust it. Yes, it's that I don't trust it. So we got both of these snugged down about as good as I can. And more than likely, this is probably right where it was. I should wrap the tape around those too, but these tend to be the ones that fall out. And I guess we'll just cross that bridge when we get there. Aside from that, I think we can button this thing up. I didn't see this move at all. I'm not real concerned. I don't think the stud's moving inside here, inside the chassis. And that was my biggest fear on this. I think that's just, honestly, I think this bolt is just shot. So next time when I hit the old parts store, I'll have to pick one of them up. So let's get this wheel back on and go for a test drive. So if you're doing a lot of wheel work and stuff, where it's up in the air a lot, and you're always raising and lowering it, and then, you know, the old put it on the ground, tighten it, and then go around, well, you can get yourself a set of these torque sticks. Highly recommended. Pretty reasonable. Very good back end. On got this on Amazon. Anyways, how it works is you get color-coded sticks. Whatever. Each one of the colors represents a certain torque amount. So no matter how much force you put on this through the socket, it'll only torque it down to the number of foot-pounds on the stick. So you don't have to worry about over-tightening your wheels when they're in the air. Get this. Before I forget, since I also did the other side and tightened those two bolts up, I forgot to film this, but I did just check this side also and re-snug these bolts on the passenger side, and there was no play, because sometimes when that shifts, it can throw you off. So just make sure you check that. Whatever. So, done. Sorry about the wind. I'm driving down the road right now at about, I don't know, 42 mile an hour. And I let go of the wheel, and it goes where it should. It wouldn't do that before. No way. So I think we're going to say that this project is actually done. Sometimes you get lucky. This one looks like it was just that lock nut's bad. We'll get it fixed, get a new one, and throw it on there. So anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next project. Hey, remember, like and subscribe. Thanks.